In this video, I'm going to show you guys how I help athletes increase their velocity in 4 to 6 months through the use of fascia and motor preference training without having to try out different things that don't make any sense to them, all done through remote training. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact framework that I use to get my athletes to increase their velocity, avoid injuries, and stop getting ignored by their coaches. So just so I'm not wasting anybody's time, this video is only for baseball athletes who are looking to throw harder and have tried different programs before, but they were copy and paste programs, they didn't make any sense being applied to them, or you've simply been exploring the internet trying out new training or drills and are still stuck. So if you're not that athlete and you're comfortable where you're at, then this video probably isn't for you, and you can go watch my Instagram content. You get a ton of value out of it that I post for free. But if you are looking to take that extra step and you're ready to be the hardest thrower on your team, then you're going to want to stick around because I'm going to show you exactly how I help my athletes do just that. This is going to be different, however, from a lot of other programs you've seen, because in my program, I train athletes based on their movement preferences, along with training their body in a more whole balanced approach which enhances power, speed, and full body coordination. In the past, you've probably tried to assess your own weak spots. You've probably trained in person once a week and were lost for the rest of the week. Or you've probably trained with a coach that did not really know how to convey the knowledge to you, so you couldn't apply it. However, these methods didn't work because the program failed to target your body's imbalances and the way your body prefers to initiate movement. And my program does not do that. Instead, we focus on what the athlete's true weak spots are based on their natural tendencies, not what the industry says every high velocity pitcher has. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Anthony Rodriguez. I run an online performance training company, Versatile Athletics. I am a certified strength and conditioning specialist, corrective exercise specialist, and motor preference certified coach. I have helped over 100 athletes ranging from high school to the professional level get results. So, I know you're wondering, what is motor preference training? Motor preference training is simply the efficient movements or tendencies that your body prefers to do while performing. I'll give you an example. If you go ahead and you cross your hands multiple times, you will notice that the same thumb would always be on top. That is a motor preference. Your body will do that movement 10 times out of 10, which requires minimal thought and energy to complete. Now, if you were to cross your hands with the opposite thumb on top, you will feel super awkward and it requires a lot of thinking. And that exactly is what the industry is teaching you. A lot of athletes and coaches hold a misconception that in order for you to be a top performer, you have to move exactly like major leaguers. And that couldn't be any further from the truth. How many of you have been told that you need more hips to shoulder separation because that's what creates velocity? Or you've been told that you need to sit more into your back leg, or you've maybe been told that you need to pull the front leg back into landing because, again, that's what everybody does. Then you go trying to fix all of these things for months and years with no improvement. That's because they were all things that your body probably didn't prefer and you didn't know how to cue it properly. So, once you learn how your body prefers to move, that's when we start moving more efficiently rather than doing things that have the potential to be effective but only after years of doing them. It's a waste of time. Take, for example, my athlete JC Ariza. Before we started working together, he was throwing mid to high 80s. Within his assessment, I noticed he had a lot of back leg flexion, a swimming glove arm, and an unstable front leg, all which were opposites of his motor preferences. So what we did was to get him back into profile, providing drills and workout sets, all in order to get him into more extension. In 3 months, he was up to 93 and found throwing fun and easier. And don't take it from me, hear it from him.
Oh, I love baseball so much. If you're a pro ball player and not training with Anthony, get right now.
But it didn't end there. An updated note is that JC and I are now 8 months into his training and he is up to 96 miles an hour. I even add my own story onto this. I recently started a road to 95 and went from 76 to 91 in only 12 weeks of training my motor preferences. In my career, I was taught to sit on the heel, to use my back leg until I learned that it was killing my velocity. What my body wanted to do was to ride the balls of the foot, which allowed for my body to organize itself and produce more force. Even better, let's take a look at Fernando, who had trained with different pitching coaches before, but they were all trying to get him to achieve more hips to shoulder separation and counter rotation to throw harder. He was topping high 70s at the time, and now can top 85 in just 3 months of working with me. Literally, by doing what was counterproductive, which was thinking to rotate as a door, thinking everything together, it allowed for his body to perform without stress and not force separation, all because it was what his motor preferences preferred. Leading us to the next phase of my framework, fascia training. In the industry, athletes are taught to lift upper and lower body splits and train their body in isolation, emphasizing lift big to throw gas. In what world does it make sense to train in isolation if your body moves as one? Even when you pitch, you don't only get sore at the shoulder area, but also feel fatigue down in the lower half area, meaning that your entire body was in collaboration and aid with the production of your performance. So, by training the upper and lower body, you're teaching your body to work as separate parts like a car instead of one tensegrity model of your body working together. Take, for example, Victor. Before we started training together, he had done programs that were isolated, which made him struggle with moving his body properly. After including full body training and the right drills for his throwing, he naturally learned how to segment his body and fire the right muscles at the right time, going from 69 to 91 in 5 weeks from the infield.
Matter of fact, I sent you a video today about a play that I made. That was literally a drill like that we were doing. And this came out naturally because it's like you train how you play, basically. It's sport specific, which is what makes it even more fire. So once I understood how my body was supposed to work, it was a wrap.
Or even Manny Alvarez, who had experienced oblique strains and lower back pain, and after training his body the right way, we were able to get him back to where he needed to be, going from 94 to 98 in 3 months. He is a true frame thrower. In conclusion, fascia training helps athletes improve body awareness and balance, optimizes functional strength and power in the entire body, as well as better alignment and posture. Our third phase of framework is keeping your body in fine shape. Being able to recover day after day is for sure a hard task, but you cannot do it without having the proper protocols to regulate your body. Most people believe that just resting will help them recover, but this is only part of the process, and it's actually a lot more than that. I have a system of corrective movements that attack your movement imbalances based on what was found in the assessment. Implementing these with multiple athletes has not only helped them with lower back pain, knee pain, but also athletes with arm pain get healthier. For example, Nathaniel. Before we started working together, he had unfortunately shattered his elbow. After having a 6-month period of rest, he was still feeling pain and trying to throw harder. With the implementation of our correctives and lifting system, we started to correct his imbalances. And a month into the program, he is already throwing at 85% with no pain at all. Or you'll probably like to hear about Weston, who has struggled with knee and oblique pain along with SI joint dysfunction. Think of that as the pelvis. And with 4 months of work, he felt extremely better and he started to flicker higher velocities at lower intensities. Let's hear what he had to say.
When I go into the gym, I don't want to just exercise, I want to train. And I think that's the biggest difference between, a lot of programs and what you're doing is it really feels like you're training, right? Like a lot of it's like really cross-specific and targeted towards whatever your deficiencies are, and they're there to help aid your actual throw instead of just, you're not just exercising, you're training to throw a baseball.
All of this was done through remote training, and you're probably not sure what remote training is or how it works for athletes, or you've probably doubted that it actually works. I'm here to show you how. But before I do, let's take a step back and acknowledge the problems encountered with in-person lessons. Once you're in for a lesson, it is usually for one time a week for 30 minutes. What do you do the rest of the week? Implement what was taught to you? How do you even know you're doing it right? You're likely to come across new ideas, questions, or issues, but you have to wait another week to speak to your coach about it for only 30 minutes. And that is a big issue, man. How do you even plan on getting better at that rate? With remote training, however, you'll have a plan for every single day of the week, with progression and regression on what you need, meaning that you're never lost and you know exactly what to work on. What does this look like? Well, let's take a look. So just to give you guys an example of everything that I have in my program, remember that this is on the back end, so this is what I see. It won't be as complicated on your side. When we join the program, you first have to go through a full body movement integrated assessment. What that looks like is something like this. We have over 30 plus different movements targeting how your body moves from head to toe. And every single one of these exercises have a link that takes you straight to a YouTube link where I show you how to do this.
See
and
that
it is
hip
very descriptive, if you just heard me talk right there, on how to do it. You will then submit everything in through here, and I will go over it and get on a call with you and discuss everything that was found with it. After that is done, I would prepare your lifting program depending on where you are, whether you're in season, preseason, off season, whatever it may be. For this athlete, he is currently in season, so his program is going to look a little bit different. We're only training twice a week, but again, every single thing has video, has the number of sets, the number of weight, the number of reps, everything, so you won't be lost, and it's highly explained as well, so you won't feel like you're looking like an idiot in the gym. You will know exactly what to do. From here, we have our corrective system, which is targeting the body's imbalances. These things you do every single day. Same exact format. You have your videos. You have what to do for every single day of the week. Now, if you're a parent and you're kind of worried on if your kid is actually going to do this, accountability is a big part of my program, and I actually get to see every single thing that the athlete does within the app. From the time that they log in, from the time that they log out, from the time of when they did it, how long it took them. For example, this movement 2 for Gabriel, he completed it on July 2nd. He felt around a 4 difficulty, and it took him 31 minutes. These 3 right here, he hasn't done. I know what he hasn't done. They let me know, and we get a different plan on to make it suitable for what's happening in his career at the moment. There is no getting lost into this, and there is no cheating the system. Now, this is what the throwing plan looks like. This is from a different athlete. He is in a recovery phase, and this is what it typically looks like. Again, depending on who you are, if you're infielder, if you're outfielder, or if you're a pitcher, if you're a reliever, starter, this all is going to look different. And it is all read from top to bottom, warm up, throwing, see. That is the type of throwing, and then what he should do on the recovery, which means he needs to go onto the app to be able to do that. Again, every single thing that they do has drills, and they have video to an external link that shows them how to do it, right? As well as warm up, everything has links, so there is no getting lost. There is no how do you do this. In addition to everything, athletes will have a 24/7 access to communication with me, as well as video calls once a week as long as the athlete sees fit. Constant mechanical breakdowns done by me as well. Now, imagine if you try to do this with your coach in person. Average lesson is $50 for 30 minutes. So if you wanted a lesson every day, it is $50 times 7 days, which is $350 a week, times 4. You are spending $1,400 a month if you want an in-person lesson every single day for just 30 minutes. Compare to remote, where you have a full plan targeting mechanical and body inefficiencies with guidance on what to do every single day and 24/7 access to your coach. So again, if you're that type of player that you are struggling to stay healthy, your velocity is low, you've tried free programs out there, but nothing is working, and you're getting ignored by your coaches as well. However, you know that you have a lot more to show, and you're tired of the guessing game and want to get these things fixed in as little as 16 to 24 weeks. And once you get results like my athletes, Jaden, who was a college hitter turned pitcher that went from 86 to 90 in 1 week, or Reese, a high school freshman that went from 69 to 84 in just 5 months, or maybe Miami commit Kelvin Paulino, who went from 84 to 89 in 3 weeks of training with me. Go ahead and book in a call where we'll go over your situation and how we can help you achieve your goals. And if you're the right fit, we can get started right away. If you're not that guy, then go on my Instagram, watch my content, get a ton of value, and learn more. So, it is not a matter of whether you believe this works or not. I literally showed you guys plenty of proof on how remote training works. And it is not a matter of whether you don't have the time right now, because if you were serious about this, you know the older you get, the less of a chance you have. meaning you should have started yesterday to work on these sticking points. And I know increasing your velocity and getting healthy is hard, but if I could help you solve this and get rid of it, what would that do for you? What would that do for your career? And what would your life look like? And it's easy to take notes on paper throughout this video, but can you implement them? Obviously, you're smart and you can figure it out, but it took me 12 years from throwing hard to getting hurt to figuring out again and losing it to finally cracking the code one last time. But I'm sure you want to save time and headaches. You want better offers than D3s and to prove your doubters wrong. So if you want to achieve those goals, then fill out the application, book in your call, and let's get started today.